Hello, welcome back for yet another Next Generation live interview. We are super excited today. We have on a young up-and-coming athlete by the name of Sofia Delgado. She'll be on today to tell her story, offer advice, and we're excited to get to know her a little bit. She's been fighting a lot during the pandemic, prior leading up to that as well, but she's really been making waves in the fight to win and all of the tournaments that have been able to continue through these hard times. So if you guys haven't tuned in for this before, this is an opportunity again for all of us to get to know who will be the next black belts coming up in the community. Hey, thank you.
Hi.
Sorry for that.
It's okay.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Um, well, I am 14 years old. My name is Sofia. I've been training Jiu Jitsu for about 6 years. I'm currently a solid green belt, and I love the sport.
Excellent. So how did you get started? What brought you to Jiu Jitsu?
Well, my brother started training a while back with my coach, like as a discipline thing. Like he wasn't doing good in school, and then one day I went to go pick him up, and I was like, "Mom, I want to do this." Like, it was just so intriguing. I was like, so I told my coach, I was like, put me in.
What was it that really got your attention with Jiu Jitsu? What really intrigued you with
Well,
it?
I was a cheerleader before, so I guess the fact that it was so different from what I was like used to, like from my day to day. So seeing like all these kids fighting on the mat, rolling, everyone having fun, like working out, I was just like, this is for me.
That's a big change, cheerleading to
No, it's a
grappling and
huge change.
fighting.
A huge change. I
So,
went from waking up every morning to do my hair, and then it's just put on your gi and let's go.
so how have you been able? So, do you still like to do like typically, if you were to be stereotypical, cheerleader is more of like a girly girl thing, and
Well,
jujitsu is
I
kind of rough. So, how do you balance that
well, I
within
mean, I
yourself?
still paint my nails to roll. I
Yes,
still, I I like to do my hair still. I do my makeup. So I guess there's a balance.
that's good.
It's
Not
really different though.
Yeah, but now you know how to fight.
Exactly. That's the best part.
It's like this little secret weapon.
No one ever expects it.
Exactly, no. But so what so you've been training for 6 years now and we've seen you competing some. Do you- what is competing for you? Is it some people say, "Oh, I love it. I live for it." Some people say, "I hate it. I'm so
No, I love
nervous."
competing. I love the adrenaline, the rush, the coaching your team, everything about it. It's just like it's worth it. Training hours a day and then being able to like show off your jiu-jitsu, being able to coach your teammates, the satisfaction of winning as a team is the best part.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you, when you go out there, do you kind of, do you, what are you thinking about right before your match? Like, are you thinking, like, are you kind of in the moment? Are you in the anticipation of it? I think,
I get very anxious. Like, I'm like, okay, I just want to go. I want to do this, finish it fast. So I guess I always think about it as like, okay, show off your jiu-jitsu. Like, don't worry about winning. Don't worry about losing. Just go and show everyone that you have technique. You can, that you're able to compete and give a good fight.
yeah. Do you ever, so with, losses are hard. Do you replay those back in your head? Like, do you find that
Yes.
benefits you? Does it haunt you?
I mean, no one likes to lose, but you learn the most from your losses. Like, I still,
Yeah.
even when I win, and like, I still rewatch my matches over and over. But when you lose, I feel like you understand, like, okay, now I really need to train and figure out what went wrong.
Yeah. No, that was me as well. It was like when I lose, I'm like, yay, or when I win, I'm like, yay, I just won. And then when I lose, I'm like, oh, man, I could have done this
Um,
better. I could have done that. Okay, time to go back and
And
focus
that
on
happens
that.
like with every match. Even when you win, when I watch my matches, I'm like, okay, you could have finished this so much faster. And I mean, that feeling kind of sucks. So when you roll, you kind of want to do as best as you can so you don't have that regret after.
Oh. Do you, leading up to your matches, do you, I know for some people it makes them really nervous to kind of research who they're going against, or is that a part of the process for you to kind of get to know their game and anticipation and
Well, I never search up my opponents, but my mom does.
uh-huh.
So she's always like, oh, whatever. And then this person does this. And that, it doesn't really bother me because it doesn't change the fact of what I'm going to do. So,
Yeah, I think
but
that's
she gets super nervous when she looks at it.
Does she get nervous just watching you fight too? I know sometimes moms have a hard time watching their babies go out there to battle.
You know, when they're recording and they're watching, and it's like, that's my mom.
Is she the one that's like yelling over the recording, like
Yes.
"Go!"
Yes.
No, it sounds like you got a good mom there. So how old were you when you started?
I
It's
was
like about
I was like 8, turning
8.
9. So I started in the summer of 2015. So
Uh-huh.
I'm sure I was 8, about to turn 9, because my birthday's in June.
So what did your cheerleading friends think when you're like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go wrestle with these boys"?
Well, I remember at first, so cheerleading, like, it goes by seasons. So when the season was over, I was just, guys, I'm not coming back. And they were just like, why? What happened? What are you going to do? And then I was explaining to them, it's so hard to explain what jiu-jitsu is. So if someone who doesn't know about it, they're so lost when they look at you and you're telling them, oh, I'm going to go do jiu-jitsu. And they're just like, so all of them, they were like, but you're so good. Why are you stopping? And it's just, I'm not really into it anymore. I found something else.
Hey, but you know what? Life takes us on so many different paths, and all of our experiences kind of play into who we are and who we are as a person going forward in life. So that's good. It's good that you've had like such a shifting
A
of like
change.
such you've seen both spectrums and you found a balance between the two, and I think that's important. I know when I started jiu-jitsu it was like, well, if you want to succeed in jiu-jitsu you got to kind of be one of the boys, so one of the boys meant you kind of played with, like you played like one of the boys. So it
Yeah.
was it was harder for us to be feminine earlier. I started 17 years ago, so that was a long time ago. But
Yeah. I don't know.
so
People always tell me, "Oh, your jujitsu is so graceful and all that stuff." And I think you can tell that I'm a girly girl while I'm training.
no, but that's good that you have been able to do that. To hold on to that. So who are some women that in the jiu-jitsu community, or who are some guys as well? Who are some of your mentors, or maybe some people you look up to or idols?
Well, honestly, I really like. I stay in my gym. Like my coaches, my teammates, my little sister, everyone. That's like what builds me to do better. So I do watch like other competitors and other black belts, but it's not really my main focus to study them. Like I learn so much day to day when I'm teaching and when I'm coaching and when I'm training with my partners, that it's not that there's no need, but there's no need.
So what are some of your goals moving forward? Like, do you want to, I mean, I know you're still young and you're still trying to figure out what you want to do with life, and obviously it changes, right? You've seen how much it's changed just in your hobbies. So,
Yes.
as of right now, what are some of your goals, like just in general, like what you want to be when you grow up, you know?
Well, definitely in the future, I want to open my own academy. I feel like that's a staple for everyone in the jiu-jitsu community. But that's one thing. And I've also, with school, I've been studying to go into the medical field. And I don't know, I think sports medicine might be the way to go.
Excellent. That's very ambitious. That's a lot of school,
Yeah,
but you
I
can do
know.
it.
It's a lot.
It is a lot, but you know what? It's something that you can have as a career and you can be passionate about. And There, we actually have a black belt coming up next week who's a lawyer and owns an academy. So it can be done.
Really?
You can be a professional and run an academy.
That's
So,
amazing.
so it's good. It's good to know that that can be done. Um, so, what are some advice? So, somebody who's never competed before. What's some advice that you would give them?
Honestly, just stay focused. Like you have to have a goal, you have to have a game plan. Stick to it. If you get lost, I feel like people who don't really compete, they get very like they freak out and they get stuck. So if you have that game plan, you have it stuck in your head, just go back to that. You get lost, go back. Listen to the people who are screaming at you, your coaches, and just stay focused on what you need to do.
Yeah,
That helps me a lot.
that helps you a lot. Do you listen to any kind of music to keep you calm or like to help with the anxiety right before? No, you're just like
Because,
taking it
okay,
all in.
so when we compete, I'm normally coaching the younger kids before I go. So I'm already in the zone. I have like the jiu-jitsu flowing through me already. And it's just, okay, now it's your turn. Show the little kids that they like your their coach can do it too.
Why? What are some reasons that you would kind of say this is why you should start jujitsu for say some of the young girls and boys your age, you know, or younger as well?
Well, first off, it's fun. You can enjoy it. It's not as I feel like some people are scared to like start MMA. They're scared to start like fighting and all that stuff. So I guess it's like a calm alternative. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is that you learn how to defend yourself. You know, in the world we live in now, girls are scared of a whole bunch of things, and just having that with you is comforting. You feel like you're okay. You know, you can defend yourself if anything ever happens.
Yeah. I think that's so important for young girls to learn for sure going through life, you know. Jiu-jitsu is definitely one of the most efficient martial arts for women as far as self-defense goes.
I agree.
Um, so what? This might be a dumb question, but what part of jujitsu do you prefer? Do you prefer like kind of learning the self-defense side of it, the like kind of sport competitor side, or do you think it's important to kind of, you know,
Well,
balance the
both
two?
both
Both?
sides are important. Um, but I do like the competition aspect of it. But having the defense and just knowing that, I feel like everyone should know it. That should be something that you have to do. Even if even if you're just doing it for the sport, like to compete or anything, knowing to male and female, knowing to defend yourself is extremely important. And just, I think people should do both. I'm
Yeah.
100% with the you have to compete.
So what like so some people that I mean I started out and I was like, oh, I don't want to compete, whatever, and then I did
People are
it and I got
scared of
hooked.
it.
They're scared of it, right?
They are. And honestly, the adrenaline that you get from competing, that's unmatched. Like it's just the best feeling. And then the feeling of satisfaction, even if you lose and you feel like, oh, I showed, like I did my best, I showed everything I know, then even the satisfaction, it's just, it's worth it.
hmm have you ever like I'm an adrenaline junkie too, so I love that part. And I remember the more I started competing, like when I would first go out there, sometimes the anxiety would trigger the adrenaline dump before I even hit the mats.
Me
And I was
too.
like, oh my gosh, I just blew all that adrenaline. And so like I had to learn how to like kind of time it, right? So that you wait and it goes at the right time at the
I
match.
kind of, like, I get nervous. I'm not going to lie. I get nervous. But when I'm coaching, I get more nervous for the kids than I do for myself. So I kind of see it as like, get rid of those nerves now, coach as much as you can. So once you go, you just go. Don't think about it. Just keep going.
What has been one of your favorite memories? Like what has been one of the most like monumental moments in your jiu-jitsu journey? It doesn't have to be competition, but just in general.
That's a really hard question. I'm trying to think of one memory out of 6 years.
Or you can do like 6 years and like maybe your top 10, one out of your top 10.
Okay, so this is not the best memory, but my first pans, I was a baby. I was like 10, maybe. I don't even remember. It was like 4 years ago or 5. I don't know. But my first pans, I had been losing all my tournaments before that. I hadn't won a tournament. And then my brother was going to compete at Pan. So my dad was like, you know what? We're already going. Just do it. If you lose, whatever. I was so nervous that I started crying before my match.
Oh.
And my mom wasn't there. So my coach's wife, Gabby, she was there yelling at me from the stands, stop crying, just go. That's something I've never forgotten because I hate crying at tournaments. That's like my number one rule. Don't cry. And then that day, it's just stuck with me. I'm traumatized.
No. Well, it was probably just so nervous, right? You get so overwhelmed, and it's a relief.
And when I saw the match after, I lost by, I think it was by an advantage or by 2 points.
Oh, that's nothing.
And I was just like, I was watching the video and I was like, what the heck? Like, you could have done so much better.
No, but you did so good for your first one. I know. I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. That's, a lot of people never make it to the IBJJF tournaments, and those ones, they're scary, especially like when you go to the big ones like the Pans.
It's intimidating.
It's intimidating because you got the best of the best that have invested to come all the way to California or wherever they're holding it that year and compete in it. So my advice is don't be so hard on yourself.
It's so hard.
I know. I'm the same way. But that's what makes us motivated, right? Because we're like, I can do better. But
just do better than the last time.
Yeah, exactly. We can only be the best that we are. But so I have a question. Like, there's a lot of women in jiu-jitsu. It's a heated debate. Do you wear makeup on the mat? So, what are some advice for what are some advice that you have for the girly girls out there that still want to look feminine on the mats? But
I think the alternative is painting your nails. I normally don't wear makeup in general, so wearing makeup on the mat to me is just like, But I do paint my nails for every tournament, and I paint my nails as much as I can. So I think that it still shows that, you're feminine, you like to do your nails, you like to do girl stuff. You can even do your hair, straighten your hair for your tournament if you want. But I think the makeup on the mat, it's controversial because, you can get it. Some tournaments have white mats, and they don't want to have to clean that off, So I definitely don't recommend, even when you sweat and it's just getting all over you. What if it gets in your eyes and your eyes start burning?
Yeah,
I feel like there's so many scary factors that are risk while you're rolling. But I mean, if you want to do it, do it. I'm not gonna stop you.
Yeah. No, but I like the idea of still having like little touches, right? Little touches so you still feel like you're a girl and feminine and such. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end with this final question.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me think of a good one. How would you? This is. I like asking this one. If you could describe your jiu-jitsu in one word, what would it be? What is your game? Like, what is that one word?
My game is very calculating.
Oh,
very
I like that.
Strategic. I think a lot when I roll, and I feel like that stops a lot of people from doing what they have to do. But I think it helps me. Like, I don't know. I kind of dictate the pace of my matches so much that it allows me to think, and I can slowly just do everything that I want to do.
Wow. You let them like fall into the trap and then attack. I like that. No, it was a pleasure talking with you. I'm so glad that we had you on and we had this opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. If there's anything you want to plug at the end, feel free. I don't know if you have any sponsors you want, or any family or coaches or anybody you want to give some love to. Go for it.
Well, definitely my coaches, mates, my parents. Everyone should follow my Instagram and my team's Instagram, Team Alpha Miami. BJJ Warrior Princess,
Excellent.
But that's pretty much it.
Oh, awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much. Please thank your parents from us for allowing you to be a part of this segment. Again, we really enjoyed having you on today, and I look forward to seeing where you go. You got a lot of ambition, so the sky's the limit. You can do it.
Thank you.
No problem. You take care and keep on rolling.